Yeah, you were getting excited.
Oh, Michael Marizio got bumped for me on agenda item 9. It was originally you and then you went up. Out the way.
Good evening.
Yes.
This is a regular town board meeting, March 23rd, 6:30 PM. 2 exits in the rear, 1 in the front. We'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
To the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, standing. Those who are serving in harm's way. How you doing, Nancy? Counselor White?
You got a place set.
Oh, how are you?
Okay, better.
We'll start with the approval.
Approval of abstracts. Resolved, the Cicero Town Board approves abstract numbers 10 dated 3/8/22 and 11 dated 3/15/22.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain? Passed. Counselor Carp?
Move the adoption resolution to approve an expenditure to United Radio under New York State OGS contract PT 68713 in the amount of $97,521.77 for EF Johnson law enforcement radios to replace the current outdated and non-repairable law enforcement radios to be paid for from ARPA funds.
Second.
Discussion. Chief, these radios need to be replaced in county-wide, correct?
Yes, these radios are 13 to 15 years old. They're basically a gift from the county 13 or 15 years ago when the county had the money. Currently, right now, you have the town of DeWitt, town of Manlius, Village of North Syracuse, and Village of Baldwinsville also doing the same thing to replace their radios because like the resolution stated, they're non-repairable and we already have 2 mobiles out of service and portables that are being piecemealed.
So we got a better price because we got Baldwinsville and North Syracuse on board, correct?
Correct.
And Chief, you did tell me that United Radio is like the national repair center for this brand of radios. So theoretically, if there are any repairs that are necessary, it would be done faster and done locally, correct?
Yes, so EF Johnson are built in America and North American manufacturer is United Radio. So if they do happen to go in for repairs, they go to United Radio, where Motorola's are made in Mexico. And if they're warranted, they have to go to a warehouse in Texas, then shipped into Mexico, and then they work their way back.
All right, so these radios if there is a repair, these radios would make it into service much faster.
Correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain? Passed. Counselor Carp?
Move the adoption resolution to approve an expenditure to Butler Fence Incorporated for the completion of the Police Department Perimeter Security Fencing Project in the amount of $24,270 to be paid for from a 2022 SLETPP grant in the amount of $9,060 and $15,210 in ARPA funds.
Second.
Discussion. Again, Chief, this is to finish the project that was started last year, I believe. Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain? Passed.
Approve access agreement, drainage work and pursuit of easement at 8095 Pickett Lane. Move the adoption resolution to allow the supervisor to sign the access agreement for drainage work to be undertaken at 8095 Pickett Lane. Work can be completed by the Highway Department.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, I would like to discuss this a little. I appreciate the board and the supervisor. This has been a project that's been on for at least 3 years. And it's an issue we discovered at 8095, and it's something that, I'd love to get fixed and addressed. And I appreciate the Highway Department and the rest of the board looking into this and also seeing the importance of getting this project done.
More discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain? Passed. Approve survey work for Brewerton, or work in Brewerton. Move the adoption of resolution approved $26,000 to Warren Ramey Surveying, WBE EBE certified to perform survey work to further the Route 11 streetscape design.
Second.
Discussion. Kate, this is the monies that just, you want to explain it, how it worked? Because we had an issue with,
So for the DOS grant that we signed in 2019, this money will be used towards our match of 131,000 and will also simultaneously be helping to meet our MWBE goals. So by authorizing them right now, we can get a jump on. They said they're so busy that if we don't contract them, they're not going to get there until end of summer. Then that means design gets held up and all that sort of stuff. So
we want this project done.
we want this stuff.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain? Passed.
Before I read the agenda item for this, big mistake. I forgot Kate on the picket lane. Huge help with that too. So I'd be wrong and I apologize for not mentioning you. So please accept my apology. Approve the purchase of the 2022 Chevy truck cab and chassis. Whereas the existing 2014 Ford F-450 has substantial rust and is nearing its end of use by the Parks and Recreation Department. And whereas the Parks and Recreation Department budgeted for this item and conducted a mini bid via the New York State Vehicle Marketplace, and whereas there were 2 bids who met bid specs. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board approves the purchase of a new 2022 Chevy 350 cab and chassis from Denoyer Chevrolet Inc., low bidder at a price of $39,919.17. Budget code A71102. Note the truck will be equipped separately.
Second.
Discussion. It's a 3,500 cab, not a 350.
Oh, excuse me.
That's okay. Any more discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain? Passed. The board approves the rehiring of seasonal park staff members, whereas the Parks and Recreation Department has a need to fulfill part-time seasonal positions. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the town board approves the following employees in budget code B702013. John Wojcik, tennis instructor for $60 an hour, effective April 1, 2022. Ellison Woznicka, rec leader, yoga instructor, $60 an hour, start date 6/1/22 to 12/31/22. Rebecca Jones, rec leader, assistant volleyball instructor, $30 an hour, start date 6/1/2022 through 8/30/2022.
Second.
Discussion.
Ms. Roth, correct me if I'm wrong, but these hourly rates are being paid for by the program fees, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
More discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain? Passed.
You want this one?
Yeah, I got it. Move for the adoption of a resolution to approve the terms of the intermunicipal agreement for the providing of technology service with OCM BOCES, Onondaga Cortland Madison Board of Cooperative Education Services, and authorizes the supervisor to execute the agreement with purposes fee schedule or lower. The effective date of the agreement is April 1, 22, and shall continue for the term of 1 year. Budget code A168041.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain?
I'm going to abstain.
Thank you. We're now into discussion mode here. I want to read a few things. First off, I want to thank and hopefully our winter's over. I want to thank the 2021-22 seasonal wing persons. I have a list of them here. I'm not going to read them all, but I want to thank them very much. I want to thank our highway department for their hard work and dedication to maintain our roads this winter. On Friday, March 11th, 2022, the Central New York Recreation and Park Society recognized outstanding achievements and efforts in the field of parks and recreation. I want to take the time to thank our Parks Director, Teresa Roth, and her staff for their dedication to the residents of our town and determination and willingness to make our parks and recreation here in Cicero better each and every day. Congratulations to the canteen, who is receiving this year's David Vermila Award. Thank you to our Program Director, Amy Crowley, who has dedicated her time to the young people of our community. Congratulations to the Parks and Recreation Program Supervisor, Linda Adams, who is this year's recipient of the Young Professional Award. Linda, You have done an excellent job. It's well deserved. Would you like to say anything, Teresa?
No, they were well deserved. The canteen, the award was for an exceptional teen center or teen program. And, you know, they went on and on about how great our canteen program is. And I would like to say that at a future meeting, hopefully here in the near future, Amy would like to come in with a couple of the teams and do a brief presentation, but the program has really come a long way over the years, and even surviving through COVID and providing the services to the teens have been, you know, really outstanding. But just yesterday, I checked in over there and we had 71 teens in attendance. I don't think people realize how many teens go through the door there every afternoon. And I just want to do a plug for, we're always looking for donations of snack supplies, the amount of food that they go through for the teens. And currently we're seriously in need of sponsors for the Gus Macker tournament, which is the biggest fundraising event that the teens do. And then also for Linda, yes, Linda is the program supervisor and for the Parks Department. She does an exceptional job, and it was an honor to nominate her, and I'm so happy she got the award. So she beat out some other really top professionals. So congratulations and thank you for acknowledging it.
Excellent, thank you. Our 2022 brush collection schedule has been posted on our website. And if anybody wants a copy, I believe they're in the back of the room. We're going to be starting on March 28th. I want to read something from, this is from the town of Clay, and it goes to the town of Cicero. So on Friday, March 18th, the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office says a Syracuse man is accused of carjacking another man at a gas station in the town of Clay Friday morning. According to the investigators, it happened in the parking lot of Circle K on Henry Clay Boulevard at 8 a.m. 62-year-old man told sheriff's deputies he was pumping gas in his vehicle when he was approached by another man demanding his keys. They struggled, but investigators say the suspect took the man's keys and took off eastbound on Route 31. The truck was pulled over on Brewerton Road in the town of Cicero, right up here, right near Walmart, right near the direct subs. 31-year-old Dennis Smalley was taken into custody by Officer Leneker of our department and Trooper Watson of the New York State Troopers. We're told that he had 3 active warrants for his possession of stolen property, trespass, and attempted grand larceny. Nice job, Chief. Nice job to the men. Women out there.
Just to go off of that, thank you for posting all the arrests on Facebook. I think that's great that we're getting that out to people. I know people have asked, so thank you.
Here's another one for you. On March 15th at 1 a.m., Air One, along with members of the Cicero Police Department and Sheriff's deputies, responded to a reported trespassing in progress at the Odessa Auto Auction at 5931 Route 31 in the town of Cicero. Upon the arrival of ground units, they began setting up a perimeter around the fenced-in auto yard where 2 subjects were last seen by Odessa security. As officers entered the fenced-in area to search for the subjects began running towards the southeast corner of the yard adjacent to the New Country apartment complex. Air One arrived on scene and utilized the helicopter's infrared camera system, quickly located 2 subjects attempting to hide under a vehicle in the auto yard. Air One's flight crew directed the officers to the subject's location, but as they approached, the suspects fled over the fence through a heavily wooded area. The flight crew provided the perimeter units with the suspect's location, who were both taken into custody without further incident. The subjects were identified as juveniles, who were both charged by the Cicero Police Department with criminal trespass, criminal mischief, and auto stripping. Great work by everyone involved.
That's what the helicopters are doing.
So if anybody had any reasons, they were asking why the helicopter was in Cicero that night, that's fine. And with that said, I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have anything else?
Gonna go back to Linda at Parks and Rec. I've had the opportunity to work with her a couple times, like on the Brewerton, the Ghost Walk, which was awesome in, what was it? It was in November? Yeah, and it's
Yep,
another one's coming up.
Halloween time,
Yep, and then another one's coming up in May. I'm gonna push that a lot. It's an awesome, awesome program that we do. She's phenomenal. And then for all the Christmas stuff, and she well deserved. So I appreciate everything she's done. And then another push for Parks and Rec. I know that you've done a phenomenal job making sure that information keeps getting pushed out. And I always try to share it as much as I can. The bulletin for the spring is
Did you
out.
get it? It came out
Good
this morning.
programs.
Yeah,
Make
last
sure,
night.
to look. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Teresa, did you have a chance to meet with Mr.
Nazarenko.
Nazarenko?
So I spoke with him. He hadn't had a chance to review my email and all of the information that I sent him, that I thought I pretty much answered all of his questions.
Okay.
But he said he was gonna get to that yesterday, and then if he needed to meet with me, he was supposed to come over to my office yesterday at 3:30, but he never showed up.
Okay.
So I told him if he had further questions, to get to me before the meeting, and he didn't. So hope that's a good sign, but
Yeah, I just want to briefly comment on that. I went back and looked. So we all discussed, I think everyone on this board questioned the placement at Williams Beach because none of us were aware that you'd applied for the grant. Previous administration, I don't think it was as transparent as this administration. Some of us on the board who were on the board at that time, and someone in the audience who was on the board at the time, questioned the transparency of the previous administration. But we spent, I looked, 17 minutes discussing this issue on the January 26th meeting. So the characterization, the resident said that the selection or that this project had been backdoored. That the use of that language necessarily implies that the government is hiding something, keeping it from the public for some kind of nefarious purpose. I mean, the characterization of a project that merited 17 minutes of discussion at a meeting as backdoored is, demonstrably false and frankly patently absurd. Once we became aware that this was coming up, we discussed it. We questioned you about the selection. You indicated that basically a lot of the grant in part was predicated on it being at this particular location because of the features and because of what we'd be able to do. So certainly any residents, entitled to question anything they want, but I do object to characterizing something we discussed openly at multiple meetings as being backdoor, because that's just false. And it basically, frankly, just kind of impugns what we're doing, what we're trying to do up here. This is the third administration I've served with, and is by far the most transparent. So, I think we're handling it correctly. I think it's an excellent project. It's going to benefit the town, and I look forward to seeing it through.
And I did have some questions about the project. I brought those to Teresa. We spoke about it. I also, again, say I spoke to Mr. Bacon up at Camilla's. I met with him, brought him out to the site. We didn't realize we had an extra parking lot in the back. I was wondering how we were going to fit some vehicles in there, but he did look at that and said we couldn't have any problem with it. We will have more police in the area if this becomes an issue. There will be no parking on Lake Shore Road. If there's an issue, people will not be able to park on the side of the road. So we will, if anything, it'll enhance the police services up on Lake Shore Road where everybody's complaining about speeding vehicles and et cetera, all that kind of stuff. So that's all I have to say. Anyone else?
I'll just second third. We as a whole, including Nancy, this is the most transparent board that I've been a part of. You can come and talk to us anytime you want to. You can call us. I'm very active on social media, as the rest of our board is. People do reach out to me that way quite a bit. And this was something that we talked about openly, and it has been open. And please, if you have questions, continue to ask. Like, we're not telling you to stop asking questions. I just want to make sure that that's clear as well.
All set? All set? Yep. Open up the open meeting, open discussion for the residents. Anybody have anything they want to comment on tonight? No one wants to say anything. Okay. Make a motion to close the meeting.
second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.